It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Well, here we are on Monday. It's Eclipse Monday. It's finally here, and I think we all know what's going to happen. It's just watching it happen will be the cool part. We'll have more on that coming up. Hope you had a great weekend. We're going to start off with some news.
All right. Yeah, we'll get to the eclipse next. But first, it is back to school today at Reed Academy here in Springfield after just a scary situation close to the weekend. A student brought a loaded handgun in his backpack on Thursday afternoon. After a conversation with the student, a staff member was a bit suspicious and told both school administrators and school police. And sure enough, they found that loaded gun in his bag. Upon further investigation, though, school officials say that they believe the student had no intention of using the weapon at school. All right. Meanwhile, crime in St. Louis is not good, as you know, but perhaps cases are going to be handled a little bit more quickly, which could help. The Department of Justice says St. Louis must have more resources to fight crime. And with that, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland is sending additional law enforcement resources. This includes better ability to track down gun-related offenses and to bring swifter justice. It's part of what's called the DOJ's Criminal Division's Violent Crime Initiative. Some other big cities across the U.S. are also getting similar help.
Well, we'll see if it works, won't we? It's interesting. St. Louis is kind of a mess when it comes to crime. So we'll see. I mean, sentencing has to be part of that. We'll see. Now the big news of the day, the eclipse. We've made it. Festivities happening all over the eastern part of the Ozarks, southeast Missouri, which is where the totality path will be going. They want to see that solar eclipse history for themselves. There's even a college from Virginia that will be in Poplar Bluff, part of a science project working with NASA, which is cool. Really they'll be launching things that are similar to weather balloons so that they can collect data during the eclipse, which is what a neat thing to be part of if you're into that sort of thing. You know, if you're going to school for it, what a perfect time to be part of it.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
And then closer to our neck of the woods, like 97% totality. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be very cool, actually. There's going to be an event at Plaster Stadium. We told you about that on the campus of Missouri State. You can go there and watch. They'll be gathering folks. You can also go to Hammons Field if you like. Gates there open at 1:30. If you have glasses, take them with you. There aren't many left there, and they may not have any by the time you get there. I don't know. Vision Clinic has provided Eclipse glasses for Hammons Field, what they had left for $1 donation a pair. And the parking lot across from the field will be open and free to the public to park while you're inside Hammons Field participating.
Yes, and I think that they already have some that have gone to the stadium. There's just not a lot. But my friend Deb went to the Vision Clinic last week, and they were out.
Oh,
so
she listened to your advice?
Yeah, she actually, in fact, she's such a nice gal that she texted and said, I'm going to get some for you and Ethan too. But then when she went, they were already out. So
yikes.
FYI.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Well, there are several restaurants offering solar eclipse like treats and deals. So check it out. Krispy Kreme is among them. They have a special donut that looks like an eclipse. It is an original glazed donut with black chocolate icing, silver sprinkles, and buttercream in the middle, made with Oreo sprinkles, and then a full Oreo on the top of the donut, right in the middle. It's going to be about 4,000 calories, and
delicious.
I'm halfway afraid that I'm going to show up to work in a little bit, and there's going to be one waiting for me. I say that based on nothing. It's just a stinking suspicion.
Okay.
It's probably 4 million calories at the crack of dawn.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Would it though?
I imagine. I was thinking about this.
Tasty, but
I'll be at work tomorrow, but it's like on the calendar at work. So I'm pretty sure everybody in every office across all of
at Convoy today, you mean?
Huh?
You guys will go outside, won't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think everybody at every office across Springfield and all over probably the state will go outside during that time and be part of it, right?
Yeah,
They're going to make everybody work through it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Turn on your light
Really
and
not.
stay working.
Yes, that's funny. Yeah, unless there's some really bad control freak boss out there. But come on.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, so there's our eclipse stories for the day. It'll be much more interesting tomorrow morning when we can talk about what it was like to get to experience the total solar eclipse 2024.
Mm.
All right, in other news now, 'tis the season for prescribed burning. Yes, to try to prevent wildfires. Now, the Missouri Department of Conservation is teaching landowners how to safely do that. They've already done one class, and there are more to come. Attendees will learn how to effectively plan the burn, time the burn, and then follow the state's rules and regulations on doing a burn. So if you want to take a class and then you get some sort of like certificate, you can go do that at the Missouri Department of Conservation's website. And I can't tell, but I think that you get some sort of like certificate to be able to do your own burn. Now, farmers do their own burns all the time. So you gotta read it. I looked at it today, but you have to get registered for it, and then you're going to get a lot more information. And I did not personally want to go all the way through the registration process because I'm not going to be burning anything.
So there's a line. You draw a line when you're doing things for the people. You'll only go so far.
I will only go so far. You guys can take it from here, okay?
Stand up on your own 2 feet.
Yes. All right. Well, you may have heard of the young boy from Lebanon who is making headlines in Augusta. Hello. He had a great weekend. Very exciting. Perhaps you caught him on NBC. Yeah, Peacock. 11-year-old Brock Jernigan teed off on the world stage yesterday morning. This is like the Super Bowl of golf. And he placed 9th overall in the whole country in his age group and 6th in putting. Isn't that so cool?
Unbelievable. I mean, that is the coolest thing ever. So cool.
Yes.
Wow.
So I called his mom because they're actually close friends of ours. So she said both of his drives were in the grid and his best was 191 yards, which I'm not a golfer, but that seems amazing for an 11-year-old.
Well, straight too.
Yeah, and straight. And his dad said that Matt, his knees were knocking, literally he was like shaking, convulsing, if you will. But they said that he was treated like a golf pro all weekend long. He was shoulder to shoulder with Scotty Scheffler and several others that are just pros in that world. Like, I mean, he knew them. I don't know all of them, but he knew all of them. Yeah. And I do know Condoleezza Rice. So that was cool. He got to meet and hang out for a moment with Condoleezza Rice.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, I was actually in Kylie, the mom's wedding. Well, and Matt, the dad, I was in their wedding. And so it's just neat how we had kids, at the same time and her boys in Augusta. I mean, that's incredible. That's crazy. Anyway, and she wanted me to say this part. Thank you to the community of Lebanon for the send-off. And then apparently a lot of them donated money so that the whole family could go on the trip.
Wow. That is, man, that is a memory for the rest of all of their lives. That is such a once in a lifetime deal. I mean, maybe not. This kid's good, so he may end up being a professional golfer. Who knows? He's headed that direction. But to be able to go, to Augusta at the Masters, it is the biggest, one of the top 5, I would say, sporting events that there is, in my opinion. Yeah. And he gets to go there and not only to see it, I've never even been to see it. I want to go just watch it. He got to play where the pros play, and he got to tee off with a bunch of people standing around. And if you've ever played golf, you know how nerve-wracking it is when you have a gallery. And usually the gallery is just the next group that's going to play. But they're all standing around waiting for you to hit. Yeah. It gets in your head. It makes you nervous to hit the ball.
He was first. He was first.
He was first in his age group. And he hit it right down the middle. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
So good. Both of his parents are heck of athletes, both of them. And so he did not fall far from the tree. And anyway, it's just really cool. They're still there. They're still there this morning. So yeah. Anyway, All right. That's all I got about that. Now it's your turn, sir.
Well, I'm still thinking about that because it's so cool. All right. St. Louis Cardinals legend Adam Wainwright is coming back to Springfield and back to Hammons Field. But he's going to be singing. He's not going to be pitching. He's going to actually you probably heard this. He's going to do a country music concert.
I had no idea.
Well, he sang at the Grand Ole Opry recently.
I know. Yeah. But before I heard about that, I had no idea that he was like an up and coming country music star. I mean goodness gracious. How talented can one individual be?
He's a country boy, that's for sure, and he does like coming back to Springfield. So it'll be the largest non-baseball event in Hammons Field history, is what we're being told. We've been there for some pretty big events, but this is going to be bigger. Wainwright, of course, had 200 wins for the Cardinals. He retired last year, and tickets, if you're interested, for the Wainwright concert to see Wayno singing and strumming a guitar. At the Springfield Cardinals website. So good for him. I mean, I think it'll be fun. It'll be just a party out there at Hammons Field.
We emceed an event or spoke at an event, I guess, that was on the 4th of July a few years ago.
Right.
And that was huge. So this is going to be bigger. They make it sound kind of like by a long shot. So that's really cool. I mean,
I think he's going to sell it out, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. And then also we would like to congratulate the 1051 The Bull and Scooters Coffee March Teacher of the Month. So 1015 The Bull and Scooters are teaming up to do Teachers of the Month to be highlighted on the podcast. And it is Crystal Cook from Logan Rogersville Upper Elementary. So that's very exciting. Congrats to her. Thank you to Scooters and thank you to The Bull for hosting that and then allowing us to talk about it on the podcast. Also, if you want to nominate someone for April Teacher of the Month, you can do that. Just go to thebull1051.com. Thebull1051.com, and you can enter someone for April Teacher of the Month.
Congratulations to Crystal. It ain't easy being a teacher these days. So our hats are off to you for not only being a teacher, but being a great teacher, apparently.
Yes. So, and for all the teachers today, I hope that you have a super enjoyable day with the Eclipse. That will be fun, I think.
I wonder if kids are like extra crazy today because it's Eclipse Day, not knowing that, but like, when it's a full moon, people get nuts.
Yeah. No, labor and delivery. My doctor, whenever I was pregnant, she said that labor and delivery is fuller on a full moon. It's true.
And so is the jail.
Really? The jail?
Yeah. Things get crazy on full moons.
You don't know that.
Ask a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Maybe they do.
It's true. There's something in our behavior that's tied to the moon. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll try to be on my best behavior today, but I am excited. I really am. So, okay. That's it, right? You got anything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, now all we got left is the Eclipse. Let's do it. Let's get it over with. Let's do it.
Check us out on aroundtheozarks.com. Download the app and you can listen to us there. And don't forget to go to contest and you can win St. Louis Cardinals tickets for the baseball game coming up on April 21st. We hope you will enter that contest and win. Have a good day. See ya.
See ya.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Monday. It is April 8th, and it's Eclipse Day in the Ozarks. So very exciting across the region. I know everybody's making their plans for viewing of the solar eclipse, whether or not you're staying in the Springfield or here regionally, or if you are heading to the Path of Totality, which is not too far away this afternoon. Just before 2:00 is when that peak is going to hit with the solar eclipse. So an exciting day here in the Ozarks. And thankfully, I think our weather is going to cooperate for the most part for some nice viewing conditions in the Ozarks. Maybe not perfect. Could be a little bit better, perhaps. I do have some high thin cloud cover in the forecast, high thin cirrus clouds expected in the forecast today. So it may just make for that filtered sunshine look. I don't think it's going to be an overcast sky, though. So certainly not blocking out our viewing. I think we should be able to see it, even if you're staying in town today and not heading to the path of totality. But also, places that are in that totality path, portions of Arkansas, southeast Missouri, we are going to see some really pretty lucky conditions in comparison to other parts of the country that are getting overcast skies, rain, and storms across the region today in many parts of the country. So looking out here in the Ozarks for anybody making plans for some eclipse viewing later on. And as I said, pretty nice conditions for eclipse viewing on this eclipse day. Conditions this morning are starting off pretty nice. We're seeing upper 40s for the most part across the Ozarks this afternoon. And today's going to be kind of a weird day, and it has to do with that solar eclipse. An interesting phenomenon happens. It becomes very dark in the middle of the day. So it actually slows our warming. So we're going to see temperatures warm up. I think we make it to the low 70s around midday. We get closer to eclipse time, we start to lose daylight. It becomes dark by the time we get to just before 2 o'clock. Not completely dark because we're not in that path of totality, but we will see, much darker conditions. It will look like dusk, and our temperature is going to drop around 2 o'clock. Briefly, we'll fall back into the 60s this afternoon. And then once the eclipse is over, we'll see temperatures come back up into the upper 70s. So it's so bizarre when this actually happens. I know last one not too long ago. So many of you remember some of that interesting phenomenon. But no rain today for the eclipse here in the Ozarks, so great news for us there. High cloud cover may impact viewing. I mentioned that. I really think this is the high, thin cirrus cloud cover. There's rain and storms in the forecast later this evening and overnight tonight, but I think it all holds off until after dark. So we're lucky here in the Ozarks. Places that are not so lucky, Texas, portions of western Arkansas, and then we get a little bit of a clearing path along the path in portions of northern Arkansas, southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, all looking pretty good for eclipse viewing. Then it looks cloudy through the Ohio River Valley. Places like Cleveland are likely going to see some cloud cover today. And then some of the best viewing conditions will be up in northern portions of New England. But that active weather across the southern part of the country will obstruct viewing quite a bit. Temperatures, as I mentioned, today we're starting out in the upper 40s, low 50s for some of you, a mild start to the day, none of that frost around as we begin the new work week. We will see temperatures warm up. I have us in the 70s around noon, and then we'll see that cool down, as I mentioned, through about 3 p.m. Temperatures come back up for late in the day. We'll be in the upper 70s. It's going to be a great day, temperature-wise, across the Ozarks. I do have temperatures that are likely going to be a little bit cooler for the rest of the week because some more unsettled weather is going to be moving into the Ozarks. We will have a round of showers and a few thunderstorms late this evening into the overnight hours. No severe weather, even though you might hear a few rumbles of thunder. I don't think we have to worry about severe weather all week long, which is great. But I have a very active pattern. Showers and thunderstorms possible tonight. I have additional chances for showers and storms Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Multiple rounds of rain possible this week, and it could add up in spots. In fact, it's looking like much of the region could see around an inch of rainfall, perhaps even higher than that in a few locations, particularly in our eastern counties. I think that's where some of the higher totals will be this week. We're talking places like West Plains, Rolla. They could see more than 2 inches of rain by the time you add up all the different rounds that begin tonight and last through Thursday. It does appear that we will dry up in time for next weekend's forecast, and that's also when some warmer weather will begin to move in. With all of the rounds of rainfall in the forecast, I do have this minor potential in the forecast for some flooding. We'll monitor that. I don't think that's an immediate concern for the round of rain that comes through tonight. Additional chances for showers and thunderstorms, though, will keep temperatures in the low 70s on Tuesday. We fall to the 60s for highs Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I still have a pretty good chance for rain in the forecast on Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, probably the wettest of the work week forecast. And then temps are still going to be in the 60s, but the rain chance goes down a bit by the time we get to Thursday. looks like will be dry again by the time Friday rolls around. Around the country, well, all anybody's talking about is the eclipse today. And I told you that the best conditions are actually northern New England and the southern portion of southeastern Illinois and Missouri. So we're pretty lucky here in the Ozarks and portions of Arkansas. We are also talking about critical fire weather for the southern high plains and severe weather that's expected in Texas today. There is a tornado threat too. So folks that are planning those solar eclipse viewing parties are planning those very carefully because there is a chance for storm activity and it could be severe storm activity in many places. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question for the day. Here's what I left you with late last week, testing your ostrich knowledge. If you have a good ostrich knowledge. Let's see. Which statement about ostriches is not true? The options that I gave you were A, they can run faster than horses. B, male ostriches roar like lions. C, ostriches have 3 stomachs. Or D, ostriches hate other animals and will not interact. All of those are pretty bizarre, but ostriches are kind of a bizarre animal. And the correct answer is D, ostriches hate other animals and will not interact. That is not a true statement. They are generally not aggressive toward other creatures unless they feel threatened or provoked. They are known to be territorial and protective of their nests and their young, like many species. And so they may exhibit aggressive behavior toward perceived threats if they have their kids or their nests around. But generally, they're pretty docile and they can be quite curious and friendly, even towards humans. There are many reports, especially across the country. I've seen many articles about ostriches and humans having very good relationships. So we can ensure both their safety and our own. You don't have to fear ostriches. They are a crazy bird, though. They have wings, but they do not fly. They are the biggest bird. But they do use their wings. I found this out in my research. They use their wings for balance. They run so fast that they do use their wings to, make sure their body doesn't tumble over. So their wings, they don't help them fly, but they do help them gain balance. And the other 3 statements that I gave you are true, which is pretty wild. They can run faster than a horse. The males roar like lions. I have never heard that before. And that they have 3 stomachs and they like other people. All right, here is the trivia question that I will leave you with for tomorrow. Here it is. What is the outer realm of the sun called? Do you think it is A, the corona, B, the lunar, C, X-rays, or D, the Milky Way? You can submit your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. It's a timely question because of the solar eclipse. And just so everybody remembers, in case you forgot from 2017, do not stare directly at the sun today. It really can cause permanent damage to your eyes. So if you have a pair of solar glasses, pick one of those up. If you don't, a good way to view is actually to look at the shadow on the ground. Or look up one of these, just do a quick Google search for an eclipse viewer. They're super simple to make. And you get one done by this afternoon, by the time it's time to see the eclipse. Just don't stare straight at the sun. What is the outer realm of the sun called? That's our trivia question for tomorrow. The corona, the lunar, X-rays, or the Milky Way. Submit your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. This week, we are giving away another awesome prize. Thank you so much to 105.1 The Bull, your radio home of the St. Louis Cardinals. We've got another pair of tickets to give away for you this week. It is to a Cardinals game, St. Louis Cardinals game on Sunday, May 5th. A pair of tickets. We will pick one winner from this week. So head on over to the website, enter there. And if you're enjoying Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, be sure to leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. I sure appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Have a great time seeing the eclipse. I know that's my plan for the day, along with nearly everyone. I'm sure there'll be some cool time-lapse videos to watch from the state later on. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Have a fantastic day, and I will chat with you again tomorrow morning.